Hello, I'm Sarah Lister from Sheffield Digital, and today I'm talking to Joe Fisher, who is a freelance SEO specialist. Why did you decide to specialise in SEO?
Yeah, so the main reason I decided to specialise in SEO out of all the other digital marketing avenues was, it sounds a bit cliched, a lot of people say it, because it's kind of the perfect mixture of creativity and analytical sort of side of things. So I've always kind of enjoyed content writing. Used to have a blog 5 years ago, which I've deleted now because it was a little bit embarrassing. But it kind of fed through from there. So I'm working at a company 6 years ago, and my boss were getting me to edit the meta titles and meta descriptions on there. So I was kind of doing SEO without actually realizing I was doing it. And then got into more sort of digital marketing roles, ended up at a great agency, the SEO works, started learning from a lot of experts, and there's a lot of opinions and testing and that sort of thing. And I just kind of fell in love with it, where it's something that's constantly changing. It's never boring. It allowed you kind of the freedom to design, the freedom to create, but it also has that technical side as well. And it's constantly challenging, as every SEO will tell you.
And so has most of the skills that you've learned, has it been while you've been working for companies or agencies?
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a combination. So I think I'd advise every kind of SEO and someone looking to do it as part of the job to create a website or create some sort of blog, so they can test different strategies without having any pressure at all. So they can try out link building, they can try out messing about with the structure of a site without having a boss going, what the hell have you done, kind of thing. But a lot of my learnings from social media, reading. So there's a lot of books that I'd recommend, and yeah, just literally following all the biggest SEOs on Twitter and just seeing what they say and implementing different stuff. What I would say is that it can be a bit of an issue with shiny object syndrome, where there's too much to learn, basically. So I'd advise kind of learn the basics first, find out how websites rank on Google, why they rank on Google, and then start delving into the harder strategies.
Would you say it's a more powerful tool than sharing things on social media?
Depends. I think how I kind of view it is SEO's for the longer term generally, and social media, you can get one viral tweet, it'll go absolutely mental, you get 3,000 retweets, 100 new followers, and then the next week everyone's forgotten about you. It's kind of like tomorrow's fish and chip paper. But if you manage to secure a top 3 ranking on Google, that can feasibly stay there for years and years if the competition is not too good. So I'd say it's a combination of both. You want to be doing well on SEO, PPC, social media, all the different platforms. And I suppose another side to it is it depends on the business as well. If you're in a really, really competitive market, it might take you 2-3 years to break into the Google rankings to get into the top 3. If you've just brought out say a new branded jumper, better than the one I'm wearing, but then I'd suggest maybe Google ads might be the best way to go down, or social media, paying for some social media ads and just getting the product out there and getting some sales in quickly rather than trying to rank it. So I'd always advise, look at the different platforms and see what works best for the company.
Mm-hmm. And how do you help businesses? What's the main problem that you resolve for them?
So the main problem, I mean, a lot of them, they just feel like they're with an SEO agency, or they're with a freelancer, or they're not with anyone. They've just tried doing it themselves, and the strategy is a little bit tired, they can't seem to break into page 1 of Google with the products or services, and a lot of them just need some sort of fresh ideas. And once you actually come up with some sort of strategy, then they'll be really happy with that. They haven't got time as well. A lot of business owners are sat there, they deal with the operational side of the business. They don't have time to be sat there writing pages with 500 words on, plenty of content just to get a page to rank on Google, because it is a, like I said, long-term strategy generally. So that's a couple of problems, and sometimes it can be the technical side as well. So they'll have had a lot of time, they'll have written a ton of content on a website, and they'll be going, why have we not been rewarded with this? Everyone's, everywhere I look, it's saying the more content you write and the better quality you write, then you should rank. But then their entire site is blocked by Google, so they don't understand that, and it can be a number of different reasons. Like the site could be really slow, it might not be converting because the call to actions aren't good enough. So it's really fresh. They're the two main ones I'd say. It's a fresh pair of eyes for the kind of marketing strategy, and I'd say time. A guy called Mark Roth on Twitter, he actually said something like intense admin. That's basically what SEO is. It's not rocket science. A lot of people think it's this like Fugazi like magic that you sprinkle on a website, but generally it's not. It's doing the menial tasks over and over and over again, and just trying different strategies and testing.
And what experience did you already have when you became self-employed?
So I had experience on the agency side and the in-house side, which I think is really, really important to become a freelancer. The agency side is where you're dealing with multiple clients, so it can be anywhere from kind of 10 to 20 clients, variety of different industries, variety of different personalities that you're dealing with as well. Some people that are on you every minute of every day going, what are you doing? Some that are just relaxed, just like you do what you want to do. And some that if you want to publish new content, then you have to go through every managing director just to get a new page on. So yeah, I worked in-house for a water treatment and air hygiene company for a year and a half. So I was purely on their website, just trying to get their rankings up, nothing else, 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, testing new strategies. They gave me the kind of artistic freedom to do whatever I wanted, download the software that I needed, which was really important. And then the agency side, that was really beneficial. Where I worked as an account manager, so I was dealing with the clients and doing the work. That was regular meetings, doing monthly reports, which was really important. And that was fantastic, because it was basically working for a company that had 30-35 experts, not just in the SEO industry, web developers, PPC specialists, content specialists, IT specialists. So it was getting experience from them and just bouncing ideas off. So yeah, so it's been about 6 years of experience before I've actually gone freelance. But I think once you realize that you can take the same strategies and implement them to any industry and any website, and they can be successful, that's when I'd start to go, you can be a freelancer.
And how long have you been freelancing now?
So it's been about 18 months. So I started about 2 months into the pandemic. So my partner and my family were a bit like, what are you doing? taking a massive risk just when there's a killer virus going around. But it was one of them things, I think, with a lot of things in life as well, not to get too deep, there's never a good time to do it. So you might as well jump in and give it a go. But what I would say is, if if you can try and get some 3 months of savings saved up and all that sort of thing, the financial side, but also just start doing some freelance bits on the side of your current job. Just see if you can go on freelancing websites and just try and do an hour here or there and see if it is for you and if you could do it full time.
And how's it going for you so far? Is it living up to your expectations as such?
I'd say so, yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of scary statistics out there that says kind of 90% of freelancers or small businesses fail after the first year, and I've got through that, which I'm pretty happy with. And initially my thoughts were, if it pays the bills, I'm happy. If it gives me freedom and it can pay the bills, I'm happy. And it's actually surpassed that. So I've really enjoyed having the freedom to learn, and there's the freedom to earn as much as you can as well. And it's just it really suits my lifestyle as well. So it's been good.
That's really good to hear. And how much has your work and lifestyle actually changed? So your sort of lifestyle balance as such, has it in reality freed up more time for you and your family?
Yeah, so I think one of the other reasons that kind of pushed it was my partner works shifts at a hospital. So she'll work nights, she'll work long days, that kind of thing. So I've been able to kind of tailor how I work around her. So if she's, say, working 7 till 9 at night, which is a long shift, then I'll work the same kind of shift as her. And if she's working on a night, then I know I can kind of work till 2 o'clock in the morning. And I don't have to drive home from work to walk my dog as well, which is quite good. So he's happy that I'm here all the time as well. But yeah, he's become a bit needy. So I think if I ever did go to a company again, then he'd cry a bit, bless him.
And where does the majority of your work come from now?
So when I first started off, it came from a website called People Per Hour, which is a freelancing website. Really good starting point. It's a lot of people are looking for people to do work there. There's not massive expectations for you to be an absolute expert. You can start off and they can say, write 500 words for a blog, and then you can get to the more advanced stuff on there. And you get, obviously, it's a bit like TripAdvisor, where you get good reviews and you start appearing more visible on there. So I started off on there, and then I kind of migrated to LinkedIn a little bit. So I don't post on LinkedIn as much as I should do, but I think just literally having the title Freelance SEO specialist on LinkedIn, I probably get a message bi-weekly or something like that with someone just going, I'm looking for someone to SEO my website. So the majority will come through LinkedIn. And then regarding kind of work in the future, I need to create one, but a personal website. So I'm going to do joefisherseo.com and hopefully start getting some inquiries through that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's really interesting. So with People Per Hour, do you have to pay to be on there, on the website?
You don't have to pay to be on there, but you can pay to become more visible. So if you pay, I can't remember the exact amount, but you can pay kind of, I think it's £5 a day or something like that. So then if anyone does search for SEO specialist in Sheffield, for example, then you'll appear at the top of a little banner saying you're a VIP. Mm-hmm. And the main reason that a lot of people will tell you work on it that I left there is that the fees are quite high. So I think they're about 20% roughly. So if you earn £100 on there, £20 is going to them, and you're paying tax as well. So that's one of the main reasons I migrated from there.
Right, okay. And with LinkedIn, do you find that it's people from the Sheffield City region who are finding you and messaging you on there, or is it wider than that? It's
definitely wider than that. I don't think I've had anyone from Sheffield from there. It tends to be, there's been London, Manchester, Scotland, that kind of thing. A guy messaged me last week that I'm starting to work with from Wales, who works in the car industry. So it'll literally, branch out to the entire UK. I've not had too many international inquiries come through, but yeah, tend to get a variety of places.
Okay, brilliant. And why did you decide to put together your ebook?
Yeah, so that was to become a millionaire, which has not happened yet. So it was more a case of, for being completely honest, I follow, there's a kind of side of Twitter that's I describe as money Twitter, which is people who have made a lot of money doing certain things like affiliate websites, writing ebooks, podcasting, that kind of thing. And there was one guy on there, and he basically said, I've just sold $2,000 worth of ebooks overnight, and it's paid my rent in one night. So I saw that and thought, that'd be nice. So yeah, I just thought I'd kind of give it a go. And to be fair, the whole process of writing an ebook as well has taught me a lot about that certain subject. So I wrote it on kind of the local side of SEO, so how local businesses can rank higher on Google. So I think I wrote 25 tips in the ebook, and I'd say around 15 or 17 of them I already knew. And then kind of the thought process was getting a bit dry, so I started researching new things. So I've learned things that I can implement on my clients as well using the ebook, and it seems to have gone down pretty well. Everyone who's downloaded it liked it and found it quite useful. So it's not something I'm giving up on yet. It's just not paying the bills yet. But one day.
It sounds really good. What sort of level is it for? Is it for beginner level?
I'd say it's kind of, yeah, beginner sort of medium level. So it's not really advanced, but I tried to find tips that are not, so it's for Google My Business listings, which if you, for example, Google like Italian takeaway in Sheffield, if you look on the right hand side of Google, you'll see a restaurant with the rating and then location and a picture and all that sort of thing. So I tried to find tips that were a little bit not well known, a little bit obscure, that people might not always think of. So the first one I kind of found is, everyone kind of knows that if a company has more 5-star reviews, the more likely to get business. What Google is starting to do is, within their algorithm, is if the review mentions the keyword, that company will rank higher on with their Google My Business listing. So if a review says, for Italian restaurants in Sheffield, says the Meat Feast pizza there was unbelievable, then that review will, if you search Meat Feast pizza Sheffield, then that should appear near the top. So it's little things like that, getting people to mention the actual product that they've used in the review, rather than just leaving a 5-star review. So it's just little perception things like that. It's not kind of reinventing the wheel, but that kind of thing.
No, it does sound really useful. And you're currently offering it on a like donation basis, right?
Yeah. So I've just done it because it's my first ebook. I'm just delving in there. So I think I did sell it for a tenner to begin with. Price a couple of pints in London, but I just thought that as it's kind of gone, I'll let people download it for free. If they like it, that's fantastic. Obviously, get their emails, and then the next one can kind of follow on. But I'll probably go back to it and keep revising it and improving it if I can.
And do you have any particular plans in the sort of near future in terms of which direction you want to go in with your work?
Yeah, so I mean, what I would quite like to do is deal with a fewer less clients, but be able to dedicate more hours to them. So that would be really beneficial. So I've higher results because I've got quite a few clients at the minute. And I would like to delve into writing a few more ebooks and stuff like that, and collaborating with a few more specialists. I follow a lot of digital PR people on Twitter, which is obviously quite there is an overlap there with SEO as well, and link building. So it's, I think collaborating with them more would be great, and just trying new industries and trying out different tools and all that sort of thing. But it's, yeah, there's not kind of a monetary target. It'd be great if I could get my partner to retire, but yeah, I'm not going to put that pressure on yet.
And how do you secure getting paid for your work? Have you got a particular process, or is it different with different clients that you work with?
I've been incredibly lucky, I think, just looking at what other, the experiences that other people have had, where they're waiting weeks on end to get paid. Generally, everyone pays me either on time or early. I've got a few clients who pay me advance as well, which is pretty nice. So I've not actually had to muster up a formal contract yet, but that is something I'm looking to do in the future, to kind of secure everything a little bit and keep safe. But yeah, it's been, I've not had that issue because I've got quite a good relationship with all my clients. So not that I know where they live, but I know they work. So
you've got a dog.
Yeah, I've got a dog. I've got a little cavapooch on that'll hunt them down.
No, that's actually really, really good to hear, because a few of the other people we've interviewed have said that it has been a bit of an issue, especially when they first started. So that's really positive. Have you faced any significant challenges since you started freelancing?
Significant challenges. I need to think about that one. I think the main one, and this is quite specific to SEO as well, is, and a lot of people mention this, expectation management. So in the beginning, the more honest you are and upfront you are to begin with, the better the relationship tends to go. So some people have a false perception where if you optimize a page, it can rank first on Google within a week. That can happen, but it depends on a lot of other factors. It depends on the authority of the website, how many links are going to it, how competitive the industry is, all that kind of thing. So managing expectations to begin with does tend to help. Time management can be a bit of an issue as well when you've got a high number of clients. So you've got 20 clients, how do you manage your time specifically? And it's, I think, a trap that a lot of people fall into is that client's paying me more than that one, so I'll concentrate on that client. But the one that's paying you more might actually need less work to get to where they want to be. So managing time's something that I'm always trying to improve as well. It can be tough. Freelancing can be tough as well, in the fact that you have got to really, you discover a lot about yourself in the discipline side of things, because you can get up at any time you want, and you can end up working anytime you want and never seeing the light. So the first kind of month of it, I think I did fall into the student life a little bit and started getting up at like 11 o'clock and working till like 7, 8 o'clock. But you do realize after a bit, if you don't put the work, you don't get paid. And if you don't get the results, you don't get paid. So you really need to, as much as you do end up falling back into the 9 to 5 routine naturally, I've found, even though you tried to break out of it, it's really strange.
Yeah, I found that as well, actually. And I tend to find that 9 to 5 structure does kind of work quite well. Not that I work constantly for those hours, but I try and fit some work in during that time, and I suppose it fits in better with the other people that you're working with as well. Yeah,
that's a big side to it. I think just that there is a reason that 85% of the universe basically works 9 to 5. That's not by accident. It does just work really well, and there is that freedom. Obviously, I can get up earlier or later and work later on, but if you start doing that, then your free time gets extended and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so do you normally charge? Do you charge like per day rate or an hourly rate or a project rate? How do you manage that side of things when you have those discussions with people?
It can be a combination of things, to be honest. With the kind of monthly retainer clients, I'm always reviewing this, by the way, so it's not something that I might do forever. With the monthly kind of retainer clients, that I do charge an hourly rate for them. So they'll say get 20 hours a month on their website, and I'll charge an hourly rate for them. But that doesn't always, I'm getting to the point where I understand that doesn't always correspond to the results as well. And then there are projects that are getting on the side of that. So there might be a project to get a certain result, get a client 20% more traffic per month, or create a new section of their website, and then I can give a kind of a flat rate for that. So it can be a hybrid of those two, rather than just one flat out rate per hour.
And do you ever need to turn work away because you have too much? And do you try and tell people, oh, I can do that, maybe in a month's time?
Yeah, that happens quite often, where I just have to go, listen, I'm full to the brim capacity wise. I'd love to take you on at the minute, because I mean, my favorite clients are e-commerce clients in an industry that I find interesting. They're my ideal client, with someone who gives you artistic freedom to do whatever you want, kind of SEO wise, and just completely trust you. So it can be frustrating if I've got clients already and then someone like that wants to come on, but you just got to be honest. I know it's stereotypical, not burn bridges, just go, listen, I can take you on in a couple of months. I think a mistake that a lot of people make, and I think I made in my kind of early days, is saying yes to everything, absolutely everything. And then you go, hold on a minute, I'm working like, I'm scheduled in 300 hours a month. Like, how am I going to do this? And then you panic, and you've got to ring your friend up to help you out and look at a virtual assistant or somehow do the work. But it's something that's got to be done, and everyone understands it. No one's, when I've said I'm full to capacity, no one's ever gone, well, what's all that about? You're turning work down in this environment, this climate. They always understand, and people will just move on to the next person. But there's been plenty of times when I've told someone I'm full to capacity, and then I've had some free time open up, say 3-6 months down the line, and I've messaged them back and said, I've got a bit of free time now, if I can take you on, and they've gone, yeah, go for it. So no, I don't think every project and every client needs that service when they say they do. Some of them will wait for the right person. I know I said that some are willing to wait 3 to 6 months. There are some that need things completed by certain deadlines, and news does travel fast as well. Like on the people per hour side, when I started off, I did start saying yes to everything, so I just ended up having a manic month where I didn't sleep. But if I'd have not met one deadline for one person, it'd only taken one star review on there just to ruin your reputation. So yeah.
And how do you manage your time in terms of the kind of stuff, the work that's not paid, as in like the initial conversations and the organizing of the work, finding out what the client wants? How do you manage that side of things and not spending too much time sort of negotiating things and how it's all going to work?
Yeah, so going back to the beginning again, like I said, you do say yes to everything, and sometimes that does include things that don't earn you any money as well. So if you have, I had a few family members when I said I'd started off as a freelancer, that they had a light bulb, and they kind of said, oh, well, he's got all the free time in the world now. He can spend a week on my website, kind of thing, which is absolutely fine. I'm more than happy to help them when I've got time. But you have got to be a little bit brutal in the fact that, is this going to earn me money? But I'd say it's getting a balance where I'm not I will speak to people when it doesn't earn me any. It's not like I'll have a a 10-minute phone call with someone off LinkedIn and go, right, that'll be £50, please. I'm always happy to speak to people if they need help and that kind of thing. It's just making sure that, I'd say, at minimum 80% of your day is spent doing things that actually earn you money and pay the bills.
Mhm.
And then leave 1 hour, 2 hours a day for any kind of consulting inquiries that come in, side projects like ebooks, just keeping that balance, really.
Mm. And what important things do you think that people should consider before making a decision to freelance?
I'd say the main things are, what are you going to miss about working for a company? That's kind of how I kind of saw it. Are you a really social person? If that's the case, you're going to really miss the office chats and the conversation. It doesn't necessarily mean don't go freelance. It means look at the options. Like, could you work in a co-working space while you're freelancing? Can you join Slack groups like the one we're in? So you keep the social aspect a little bit. Is it going to fit your lifestyle? Are you someone who like, are you a self-motivator? Can you sit there and create your own work and get up every single morning and go, right, I'm getting a new client today, somehow make sure it's the right one, or getting the work done? Or are you somebody who likes to be told what to do? Sorry, if you are someone who likes to be told what to do, again, it's not necessarily mean you shouldn't be a freelancer, but you might want to work with clients who are really rigid in what they need doing rather than a freedom kind of thing. Do you know the basics of the channel that you're going down? I've seen a lot of people recently, quite experienced SEOs, getting annoyed at freelance SEOs starting off, getting a client in, and then posting it in a group and going, does anyone know how to do SEO? Like, what am I actually doing? So you do need an experienced amount of knowledge. I'd say probably like a senior level of a company or an SEO manager level. That's what I'd say. I'd say you can't really work in an industry for 3 months and then work as a freelancer straight away, because you'll be blagging it and you'll be learning as you go along, sort of thing. It's not really fair to clients if they're paying a high fee to you if you're learning as you go along. I mean, another thing is, if you're really good at one side of digital marketing, really niche down and specialize in that, because there's so many people out there, so many companies and websites that need help on the marketing strategy. If you niche down, there will be prospects in that niche rather than generalizing. So, and the other thing is, like I said, I know it sounds like a parent's advice sort of thing, but try and make the transition as smooth as possible. Don't just one day just quit your job and then there's an almighty amount of pressure on you to get clients in. Start off by taking a client on the side of your normal full-time job, and then slowly transition into freelancing like I did.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Thank you very much for a great interview.
It's all right, no problem.